Hello, hello. How are you guys? All right, so I'm hopping back on. So, bottom line, I'm going to talk about, hang on, I got to put this stupid code in. I think I put it in right. Okay, I did. Okay, so I'm excited to talk about this. So, I just rant and raved. So, I was like, you know what? Let me just change the title and leave that as the rant and rave that you guys can go listen to on TikTok. But I'm going to start the Special Education CEOs Club discussion right here, right now. So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Raven Woods. I'm the CEO and founder of Autism Mama Rocks IEP, and I help parents like you gain knowledge and confidence in becoming the CEOs of their IEP meeting, hence this membership. Okay. It's a little bit different than maybe what you may be used to. I don't know if you're a member of other people's memberships, but I strive in perfection, but I'm not perfect. Okay. But I am a type A personality who strives for that. And I also look at things and also gather information from you all on what is it you're looking for in a membership. Okay. Because I'm a member of several memberships of just getting ideas from other people, not using their idea, getting ideas of what is it they have, what is it they have to offer. Is it valuable information? Those types of things. And I'm always wanting to learn. So that's something that I love to do. But the thing is what I've realized, and what I've realized is not out there. I'm so glad my stuff's trademarked. But the thing is parents are sick and tired of the laws. All right. Because I can tell you where to get the laws. The laws are going to be part of this, right? I'm going to show you the book that you're going to get the laws from. All right. I'm going to explain how to understand them. All right. In the right way. But that's not what the membership solely, that's not what the enchilada, if you will, that's kind of the stemming. Or, we have the membership in the CEOs Club, and there's this umbrella. And then we have underneath that umbrella all the stuff, right? Or just think of it like a tortilla, right? And all the stuff inside. All right. And so it's important to understand what you're going to get and what I am excited to put my time and attention into. All right. So here is what it is going to entail. All right. So you join the Special Education CEOs Club, and right now it is for the cheap price of $39. Okay. That price is not going to stay around for long. And when you first go on, like right now, all right, you're going to see a ton of PDFs, okay, that you get to have for yourselves, all right, and use as you choose. You're going to see a bunch of stuff that I have that are also in my products that I charge for, but you're going to get them for free. Is it all of them? No. Is it a lot of them? Yes. And then everything else you get it half off. So, for example, a lot of my stuff, all my stuff pretty much except I want to say like 3 or 4 things, is under 1997. Okay. Most being under 997, and you guys get it all half off. Okay. And you have to be part of the membership, and everything's labeled for you in there. So it's not like somebody else can go in and, just get it at half off. They have to go to the products. So those are the perks of that. Okay. Because you need the PDFs, all right, to be able to utilize them, make them your own, all right, and create what you want from them. But Keep the enchilada there, all right? Because that's why it works, okay? So let me talk about this for just a second. One thing in doing what I do, all right, I have found that most people, including myself years ago, um, do not think IEP and do not have an IEP mentality. Okay. I've always been straightforward. All right. And everything that I have said regarding IEPs are fact. If I'm ever wrong, I own it and correct it because I'm the type of person that if I didn't say it right or it didn't come across right, I want to correct that because I want you guys to have the right information. Okay. But the thing that you need to know is that factual information is key. All right. And there's a lot of non factual information being put out there. I'm a straightforward advocate. I'm more assertive aggressive than passive. I'm nowhere near passive. All right. But I will tell you, many of my clients are. There's nothing wrong with passive or aggressive or any of that. Okay. I'm just saying, many of my clients are. But think about it. All right. I actually enjoy being around people that are more passive than me because they calm me. All right. I've got anxiety. I don't know about you, but I deal with anxiety. Okay. And I love being around people that calm me, that create that sense of peace, right? And people that are more passive, they're more attracted to people that are the opposite. We're all like that. That's just normal, right? So I've always just been one where, you know, straight shooter. I always say, oh, I feel like a negative ninny and blah, 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 blah. But I'm like, you know what? These are facts. Everything that I say, I can back up in video or recording. All right. Dependent on what's allowed. Like in California, I can record, but I can't video, like in Virginia, I can video and record, so it all depends. But bottom line, I can back it all up. All right. So it's not just coming from whatever. All right. So in the membership, along with the PDFs that you need, because this membership is not just for parents. It's for parents who want to advocate for their children. It's for parents who may want to advocate for their children. Plus, it becomes something that they do as a job, a side job, a part-time job, full-time job, whatever. It's for teachers who are actually wanting to become advocates. It's for anybody, I don't care who wants to advocate for a child. Okay. And yes, Katie. And so it's so important to know that this is for anybody, even admin. All right. Because I had an admin call me the other day. She used to be, she works in administration, or worked in administration and just retired. And she used to be an assistant principal. She used to be a principal. And now she is advocating and she's joined the membership. And so it's just so important to learn the ins and outs and the mentality. The mentality is 99.9% opposite of the way you think. That shouldn't be surprising. The reason why is because a lot of the way we have to think is freaking insane. All right. Because that's why it drives us crazy. All right. That's why the IEP process drives us crazy. Okay. And it's also why there's so much crap in it. I mean, sure, put me out of a job, but I mean, why can't school districts just be transparent? I have to say, the past 2 IEPs I have had, because I tell them out the gate, all I want is transparency. I can work with transparency. I can work with you being honest about where you messed up. I can work with that. We all mess up. We can't go back. We can't change what you did wrong. We have to just move forward. Does that mean the parent shouldn't be mad? Does that mean that, they're not going to owe compensatory, or there's going to be things that happen because they screwed up? No, of course that's going to happen. But does it mean that we have to um, hold it against them and not move forward, when the key thing that we want to do is move forward and get that child a IEP that is on freaking point, with fidelity, that's followed with fidelity? And I'm going to go through all of that with you. We're going to start and baby step it. Okay. You're going to get 3 hours with me on Zoom, face to face. All right. Everybody's going to be put on mute. There's going to be training. All right. The training is then going to sum up with communication. We're going to all communicate. We're going to collaborate. We're going to talk. We're going to have questions, all of that. Other things that we're going to do is I'm going to bring in experts, BCBAs, psychologists, speech therapists, occupational therapists. I'm going to bring people in to talk with you about the different things that are done, said, etc., that happen within the school system that are just not okay. All right. And they're going to talk about what they do so that you're clear when you're wanting certain services and so forth for your child, of what that entails, to educate you further and for you to be able to ask questions. All right. The next thing that we're going to do is I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to go through IEPs the way my psycho self does and how I look at it. And I am going to also play video for you and recordings. All right. Of course, with the parents' signed permission. So don't even go there. All right. And for the meetings that we have that done, all right, where we're going to have video, where we're going to have, the audio, that sort of thing. For those meetings, you will have to sign an NDA, okay, for privacy purposes for that family. All right. So the family's given permission, but they've also wanted, for that privacy to be kept within the club. All right. So, which I fully support. And so that's just for those that are going to have the video and that are going to have the audio. Everything else, no big deal. All right. So yes, Bill, post a 1 below if it's your first through third time catching me live. Post a 2 below if you're an oldie but goodie. All right. So moving on, I'm going to teach you, and why I want you to hear the audio is because I want you to hear how to be quick. I'm going to teach you how to be quick. All right. All the parents who come to me that for some reason, small towns are coming to me right now. It's kind of crazy. It's like I get these like spurts. I had, big cities and big districts, and I had, smaller districts in the small towns. It's kind of interesting how it's like in these spurts. Katie says you need legal as well. What to sign and not to sign. So bottom line, hi Blanca, how are you? So post below where you're from too. All right. So one of the things I want you to know is when you hear me, the reason I want audio in there is because when you hear me, I'm going to be talking about what I want you to be doing. All right. These are things that happen in IEP meetings all the time. I use those in order to teach you because they happen all the time. All right. The different things that happen within IEPs and the things they say. What do you need to say in return? Okay. Because so many people are coming to me and said they're not listening to me anymore. And these are parents that know what they're talking about, but the school district has totally shut you down. Yeah. They don't want to hear it anymore. You got on their nerves and they don't want to hear it anymore. That's just how it works. All right. Believe me, they got real sick of me. All right. So that is important. All right. Is to understand that it's not you not knowing something. It's you got on their nerves. You were that parent. Keep it up. More power to you. Keep it up. Okay. I'm going to teach you how to write timelines. The best thing ever. Better than crumble cookies, which I'm addicted to. Okay. So it's so important to understand that timelines are rocking and they get shit done. There is not one timeline I have written that didn't get something done. All right. When I write something, I write it for a purpose. I don't write it to kiss your butt. I don't write it to be nice. No, I don't play that. Now you may, but I'm going to teach you another way. All right. I'm not mean, though. I'm not mean. I'm straightforward to the point. I don't sugarcoat it. We're not here to be friends. I'm not trying to have a discussion with you or ask you what you did last night. I'm talking about the child. This is what's up. This is what's going on. This is what we need to do. This is blah, blah, blah. All right. I want a response or I want action. It's either a response or action. All right. And I'm going to teach you how to do that. All right. But you don't have to know all the freaking laws to know how to do that. So I don't want to sit and preach laws. The laws are going to be incorporated into the membership, but I'm not preaching laws to you. I'm going to teach you what to do when you march your ass in that IEP meeting, which I don't really want you to march your ass in that IEP meeting. I want you to actually open up your computer or your laptop or your iPad or whatever and press connect on Zoom or Google Meet. So much better. So much better. Okay. Because you can have your shorts on and your little nice shirt and all your paperwork all over the floor and in order of what you want to talk about. That's how I do. I'm going to teach you that too. Okay. I'm going to teach you how to be organized in an IEP. And as you have discussion of things that are going to happen, okay, I got Amazon getting ready to knock on my door, so my dogs are going to bark. I apologize in advance. So as those things happen, you need to know what to do. Okay. So the purpose is for me to teach you what to do. All right. Oh, he didn't knock on the door. Okay. So I want to teach you what to do in that meeting, how to talk, how to discuss, how to ask questions, how to point things out, how to listen to every single word and know the trigger words. The trigger words you write down. The trigger words you come back to. And every single person that I talk to in an IEP has and says trigger words. Not one person has ever not said a trigger word. Okay? Now, granted, I have Autism Mama Rocks the IEP, my Rock the IEP course that is the foundation. You still need that. But this is that ongoing support, all right, where you're taught, you go do. You're taught, you go do. But you're able to come back to that community of people, if you will, twice a month to talk about what happened. All right. This is why too I created this, because it's something that I wish I had. It really is. And this is something I've been wanting to do for a long time, and I'm committed to it, to those 3 hours a month with you. Okay. Because I mean, and for $39, for 3 hours with me, is a good deal. All right. So with that said, you're going to learn a lot. But then if you go and you screw up, you're able to come back and you can even record it and give it to me. All right. You can send it to me in advance and say, hey, Raven. All right. Because I want this to be an opportunity for you all. Hey, Raven, here's a video. Listen to 1 minute and 69 seconds to, don't make me listen to more than like 15 minutes. All right. So if you want to give me different sections, fine. But I'm going to have you give me sections to 10.46 minutes. All right. Listen to that and tell me your thoughts. This is what I was discussing. You'll tell me in your email. This is what I was discussing. and this is what I was trying to get across, and then this is what they did. All right. So what you're able to do with that is you're sending me information, you're sending me the video. All right. You're giving me permission to play it. All right. And then teach on it and give you the feedback on it. Now, if you want it just, feedback, that's going to be a little bit more difficult, because if I'm getting 50 million emails, that's more difficult than just addressing it in whole in the club. So if you send it to me, expect it to be played in the club, explained in the club, and that positive, good, criticism, if you will, or not, or kudos, so that you can keep going and doing what you're doing. Or, okay, let's change this up a little bit. This is kind of how I would approach it. Try it, see if it works, and go from there. Because a lot of people have said to me, hey, I've gone on YouTube, I've seen your videos, or, I have my videos on Facebook as well. And I've learned so much, and I've, implemented it in my IEP meetings, and, they've worked really well. Or I'll get that. And then parents will say, but they've shut me down. They don't want to listen to me anymore, et cetera, et cetera. So, when you get you're shut out, if you will. They only respond when they want to respond, if they have to respond because you're getting on their last damn nerve. That is so normal. It's part of the process. All right. And I'm going to also teach you the process that I do that has changed actually throughout the years, in going forward with the IEP, with your program, with what you're doing, in order to create a solid on point IEP. If not, it's a clusterfuck. And I don't do messes, and I don't clean up messes. All right. Just like I say in many of my IEPs, pretend I'm literally ripping up the IEP. Okay. This is a Walgreens receipt. And we're starting over. That's what we're doing. And I actually have a team, all right, just last week, who said, you know what? I like what Raven said. Actually, she said, I like what Miss Woods said about ripping up the IEP and starting over. I think that's a great idea. Yeah, I bet you do, lady, because your IEP is jacked the hell up and you don't want to be held responsible for it. But bottom line, you know what? I didn't say anything, and I actually respected her for it, because she owned it. You're never going to hear, oh yeah, we screwed up. All right. We just jacked your child up and did nothing, and they didn't make progress for 2-3 years. We're so sorry. Let me give you 50 hours of compensatory services for our screw up. You ain't going to hear that. But if you hear, hey, you're right, let's start over. Let's not live in the past. They love hearing that. And move forward. That's them owning it, y'all. That's them owning it. Okay, indirectly, they're owning it, because they're saying, let's start over, because we screwed up and we don't want to face the consequences for that. So let's start over. Let's do what she said. Okay. You're also going to learn things like, let me give you an example. Okay. So there's an attorney I work with. I've talked to you guys about this a lot. I always say, like, World War III, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It just depends. We've gone at it, and we get along good too. So it's been all of it. And this is one of the largest school districts in the United States. And let's just say I work a lot in Texas and California. Ohio's a big one. Louisiana is starting to be a big one. Illinois is a big one, which I don't like Illinois, but I'll do it. Anyway, long story short, and I will not do New York City. So do not call me if you're in New York City, because I refuse to do New York City. I will do New York. I will not do New York City. I refuse to do it. I am sorry about that. I am so sorry about that. I really am. But it's not worth it. My mental health is more important. It is, because I can't handle New York City. It's too much. I mean, if for anybody who knows anything about New York City, that is the largest school districts. All right. And it's a freaking nightmare. LAUSD is number 3, and Houston's LAUSD is 2, Houston's 3. So I'm going to teach you how to do things like this. So make sure you guys post a 1 below if it's your first through third time catching me live, 2 below if you're an oldie but goodie, and also post where you're from. If you want to tell me about your kiddos, if you're catching the replay, welcome. And also if you have any questions regarding the membership. Okay. So another thing I'm going to teach you is like what happened just the other day with this attorney. I don't know why, because she's a smart attorney. I respect her because she's a smart attorney. But what she wrote me was dumb, dumb, dumb. Okay. And I know she watches me. So it was dumb. All right. So this is what she said. All right. Because when I do reviews of evaluations, all right, in advance, I tell the team in advance, hey, I want to let you know that we're going to go through each evaluation step by step, page by page. Okay. I always, in advance of a meeting, let them know my expectations. Okay. They may not like it, but I'm not rude about it. And they know in advance what I expect. And what I expect is never anything that they don't have to do anyway, but they just don't do it. Okay. So I don't ever ask something of them that they just don't have to do. Okay. Now there's times in IEPs and meetings and so forth where you're like, hey, we're getting along. Let's do this for each other and in the benefit of the child. Sure, those things happen, but it takes a minute to get there. But she wrote, all right, in response to in Texas, let me just start from the scratch. In Texas, a lot of times they will contact, after an evaluation, they will contact the parent and say, hey, and this is the evaluator, hey, would you like to get together so that I can go over the evaluation with you? Okay. And the lawyer is the parent or representing the parent. I don't understand what you're saying, Katie. So they'll say that, okay, can we meet in advance of the IEP meeting so I can go over the evaluation with you? Okay. Now, if you think about it, that sounds cool, right? That sounds fine. That sounds nice, but you shouldn't do it. Okay. Now, if you want to do it after the meeting, sure. But before the meeting, no. You don't want to do it. As nice as it sounds, as good as it sounds, as it may even sound as if it's being done as a favor, okay? But you don't want to do that. Oh, it's a lawyer for the school district, one of the largest school districts in the United States. So she writes me back, all right, and I'm going to tell you why you don't want to do it in a second. But she writes me back and she says, Raven, I understand that you and the parent said that you don't want to meet with the speech and language pathologist before the IEP meeting, but I just want to let you know we only have a certain amount of time, and we are not going through the IEP page by page, word for word. We're just not doing that. Here, let me pull up the email just to make sure I'm stating it with fidelity. So that is important. Hang on one second. And she actually wrote back, which is hilarious. All right. And denied what it is that she said. I did not say. All right, but I'm gonna go over this with you. Hang on. All right. So funny when you call someone out on their shit, how they're like backtrack everything. Come on now. All right, so this was her words. All right. And I'm telling you this because I want you to understand certain things that you're going to learn that I think are so important. All right. So I said the speech therapist, like in any meeting all over the United States, will review in detail the evaluation and respond to any questions necessary in order for us to gain knowledge about the results, the student, and the impact. That is expected and is not a question. Okay. I went on to say if you disagree and think what you wrote in red below in quotes, and I'll tell you what that is in a second, will stand, put that into a PWN that is what you are refusing, that you're refusing to do what I'm requesting that is required. All right. In order to somehow make things more productive, effective, and due to limited time. While IEPs have no time, as they are as long as necessary, we will not rush the review of the evaluation. Of course, I read it, but I appreciate it being read again and it being reviewed as a team in a thorough way. If parties who will be present do not like that, have no patience for it, then that is on you, not us. The parent will have the evaluation reviewed and any and all questions answered within the knowledge of the speech therapist will be responded to. Okay. I then quoted her, and because this is what she said, and this is what I was responding to was she said, we have 3 hours set aside for the meeting, so it is expected that you and the parent will have reviewed the assessment in advance of the meeting. The SLP can summarize and answer questions. No. Okay. You're not. What? Okay. Pretend I didn't know nothing. Nothing. Zero. Okay. You're saying, oh, review it in advance and come to the meeting because you know everything in regards to that speech evaluation. All right. So she's making an assumption that which I do. But bottom line, it doesn't matter. The speech therapist is the expert. It's her job to go through that evaluation. I make them read it word for freaking word. And I have a reason for that. It's not crazy. Okay. It makes sense. When you write an evaluation, all right. So a speech therapist, whoever writes an evaluation, they're writing it up based on a student that they probably don't work with. And especially psychologists, they do evaluations with students and they typically don't work with that student. Okay. So bottom line, the issue with that is they don't know the child, but they're writing in a response to an evaluation that they did and that they conducted about the child. So when they're reviewing it, I appreciate and expect it's an expectation for them to review that evaluation page by page and answer every single question that myself or the parent has in detail, because they should know that. They did the evaluation. I didn't, they did. Okay. And the parent has every right to ask whatever they want in regards to that evaluation. So don't tell me that you're just going to review it and summarize it. I don't freaking think so. You're going to review it. And so when I responded in the rest of the email, I'll just let you know what I said. So I said, she's going to review it page by page in that freaking meeting, or we can go to due process and she can get up on that stand and she's going to review it then. But I can promise you, and this is what I said in the email, I can promise you she's going to respond. Whether it's now or later, she's going to respond page by page, word for word, and answer any freaking question that we have. Hands down. So you choose. So I told her, I said, you got two choices, A or B. I prefer A, but if you want B, we'll do B too. Okay? So A is we review everything in detail in the IEP meeting as a team, which is required by law, which is why, there you go, we're coming back, which is why you never want to review it in advance. You have to review it in an IEP meeting, period. Nothing you do outside of an IEP meeting means anything. Zero. It means zero. Zero. So all your phone calls mean nothing. Stop doing them. Stop calling. Stop texting. Email. You are not friends. Okay, because when it comes down to it and you start really advocating and the admin is on top of that teacher that you so-called became friends with and you thought was on your side, she's going to turn. They're going to turn. He, she, whatever. Okay, meaning it could be a guy or a girl teacher. Okay, so have some sense and know the game. The game is you need to be smart. You need to protect your child. You need to be 50 steps ahead of the game. Stop the stupidity. We're gonna stop. I'm gonna stop that. If you're in the membership, you're gonna stop being stupid. Because I was stupid. All right. I was dumber than dumb. All right. So I'm not calling anybody stupid, but I'm telling you straight up, I was stupid in so freaking many ways. And it wasn't that I was educationally stupid or stupid, really stupid. Okay. I was stupid in how I went about things. I was stupid in the choices and decisions I made based on having faith and trust in the system. And unfortunately, the system failed my child. And to allow that to happen or to feel that feeling of failing your child is the most disgusting feeling you ever want to feel. I can promise you that. You never want to feel that way. Ever. So my job is to make sure, as emotional as I can get, is for you not to fail your child. Because it's unintentional. I didn't do it on purpose. You're not doing it on purpose if it's happening. Okay. But bottom line, nobody wants that feeling. It's just gut wrenching. So stop putting the faith and trust over there. It's not meaning that anybody's bad. Okay. I'm not saying anybody's bad. I'm not saying anybody made a bad decision. I'm not saying anything because it always can go both ways. There's always good people. There's always good situations. There's always good IEPs. I've had many recently. And, so I want you to know that. I want you to know that. Okay. But I also want you to know that for the most part, parents and kids are screwed. All right. And I don't want that to happen to you. So the more you know, the better. The more you know, the more you're going to be prepared and the more you're going to have that disappointment when you're done. Okay? You're going to have that feeling of, okay, that one good. All right, we got another meeting coming up. I'm going to teach you how to make sure you schedule next meetings after in that meeting. Okay? I'm going to teach you how to, organize things in the right way. All right. And make sure that you have that going okay. All right. I want you to know that it's so important to know these things. Rocco! He is not liking being outside. So, long story short, you're going to learn the process. All right. And it's a process, y'all. I mean, when I say there's very little information on how you should pray for what you can ask for, I hope you help lots of you. Yeah, very true, Katie. So, bottom line, that's what I've been wanting to do. Will the training include? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. She said, here, let me post that one because that's a good one. All right. And Sandra, I don't know if you heard me in my last one. I got to change the title, but I lost my shit on TikTok on the child who bit and parents had the audacity to think it was an attack on teachers, which it wasn't, and had the audacity to say that the child was abusive and all of these different things. I mean, it just literally struck a nerve, and so go listen to that. But yes, 100%. It's going to include BIP training, but it's going to include more. I'm actually posting more PDFs, Sandra. So there's so many more coming, and a FBA and BIP outline is going to be included for you. So You're going, so I kind of like to dummy proof things. That doesn't mean anybody's dumb. I like things dummy proofed. All right. Please dummy proof it for me because I'm like, just make it easy. So I don't got to think about it. Just so that's what I'm going to do is it's an outline for you to kind of check off, but you actually have room. You actually can give it to them to fill out because it's so thorough. All right. It's what I used to use because I went through school to become a BCBA and did not become a BCBA. I'm not a BCBA, but I went through school. I didn't finish the last 3.5 months because of things that happened with my own daughter, Skylar. But I went through a lot of the hundreds of hours that you have to have working underneath a BCBA and did FBAs and BIPs and wrote those all the time. So I kept a lot of that stuff. And then in my 15 years of being an advocate, I've just kind of like perfected how they should be written. And BCBAs 100% agree with me. That's one thing I'm going to do too, is have many BCBAs come on to my group because that's a huge thing. I'm all about BCBAs doing my FBAs. I am not a fan of psychologists doing my FBAs unless their background's in behavior. And many psychologists in the school systems have their master's degrees, not their PhDs. And they're called a psychologist. When Don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure that you can't be called a psychologist unless you have a PhD. Don't quote me on that. I'm going to look, but I'm pretty sure that that is the case. All right. So that is important to know. Many times when hang on one second, I'm going to go get my dog. Okay, guys. Okay. Got people calling me and all kinds of stuff. Okay. So, bottom line, it's important to have that information. All right. And to also know that, let me message this parent, guys. Sorry. Okay. So it's very important to understand that when we write BIPs or FB or do FBAs, that certain things are in them. And many times they lack the second most important part, which is what that child's going to be taught and who's going to teach them. Jake, regarding the replacement behavior. Who's going to teach that child the replacement behavior? Okay. Also teach how to question multiple teachers or even following. Yeah, well, you're not really going to get that answer straight up. But that was a good question, Sandra. So thank you for having that. But yes, you are going to get information on it. You're going to get documents on it, PDFs on it. You're going to, I'm going to have an outline of review for you. And the questions you have to, when you see them, I'll show you BIPs that have come my way, lots of them. And I'm going to show you what's wrong with them. All right. And then what's right. Okay. So you're going to learn both things so that you know what to look for and what to question and all the whys that need to be asked and the expectation of what you want in response. Okay. Because that's key. All right. You expect a response and you expect a certain response. And I want you to get that certain response versus, sticking on a merry-go-round and kind of going round and round and round and round and not getting your answer answered. Okay. So that is in a nutshell what the membership is about. Okay. It is about learning what you need to do. Okay. So that you don't constantly feel like you're failing your child. You want to learn, what you need to say, and be quick on your mouth, not your feet. Okay, quick in your mouth. And you want to make sure that, the law is incorporated into that. But if you have the right things that you're asking, the right things to ask, the path that you're going down, those trigger words that they say and how to address them. All right, because there's certain things that will start to be said, all right, where immediately, all right, I say, no, 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 no. We are not going down that road. Just stop now. Stop now. All right. You and I both know we are not talking about that. That is, you need to stop. And do I say that in meetings when they go down a road that I'm not going down? 100%. And you need to know when to do that. All right. So you need to know how to do that. All right. So that's important. All right, here, I'm going to copy the link to the membership, Katie, since you're, there you go. Put the link in the comments to the membership. All right. So bottom line, guys, if there's certain things that people want to learn, that is important to know. Okay. I'm going to go through the process. I'm going to go through all the kind of scenarios that happen. But you guys get to bring to the table scenarios that's happened to you that you're like, what? I didn't know what to do. I just froze. We can address that. We can address the things that, you're struggling with. That's the point of this, is to address the things that you're struggling with, to address the things that you are needing help with, and then allowing you the freedom to go to the IEP meetings and to do what you need to do, and then come back to the table and say, hey, this didn't really work out, or this worked out really well. I'm so excited. And then share that with everybody. So hopefully that gives a good overview of the things that are going to be incorporated in it. And there's always going to be something to talk about because there's no one IEP that's the same. All right. So if you think about it, each IEP meeting is different, and there's always different scenarios, subjects, things that you're going to be experiencing in what I call your IEP career. Okay. And you want to be prepared. You want to be prepared for this. All right. So grab it for $39. All right. It will be going up. All right. I had an email go out today that said, today's the last day. I'm going to keep it at $39 for a little while longer, but it's not going to be for much longer. Okay. So join now. You'll have access to all the PDFs and all the PDFs to come. And then you're also going to be sent an email this week. So stay tuned for all of you who are part of the membership. Watch your emails, because sometimes they go to spam or promotions or whatever, you know how we can have all those things at the top. So make sure you look out for that, because I'm going to be putting the date of the first Zoom. All right. We're going to see each other face to face. We're going to introduce each other, get to know each other. And we're going to do all 3 hours in October in one run. Then starting in November, it's going to be an hour and a half. Okay. But in October, because it's the first meeting, all right, there's a lot to cover and to start that process. Plus the introductions. I want you guys to get to know each other. I don't want you to just be like, oh, we're all on here on mute and we can't really talk. No, it's going to be a collaborative thing, but everybody will be put on mute initially so that, training can happen. But then, we're going to have a lot of conversation. All right. So hopefully you're excited about that. So watch your emails for this week, later on this week. And, you're going to have the date and time of the first Zoom. Exciting, right? All right. So you said, say we become a member and in a meeting, We ultimately lose control of the situation. Do we hire an advocate then? They are costly and not obtainable for most of us. Um, I mean, it depends. Good advocates, yes, they're not cheap. Um, but at the same time, one of my fellow advocates who I do respect, I have a handful, where it's like, she mentioned it like it's like investing in a car. We're investing in our kids. And sometimes we have to do what we got to do. Um, and so, yeah, that's more difficult sometimes for families. But, I always say it's an investment. And then after that, it's like maintenance, you know? But I'm not really sure. I don't think that, I don't know your situation. So I can't really say. A lot of my clients, are like, I need my IEP put together right now. And then, yeah, I want the membership, for ongoing, which makes total sense, right? Because if your IEP is jacked up, the membership is that ongoing support, but it ain't fixing your jacked up IEP right at the moment, right? And we don't want time wasted. All right. So, like, I work all over the US. All right. And so when I get IEPs on point, they're ready to go. Then that's the time to, really run with the learning process. But never do you want to, you know, waste the time I did, which was 6.5 years, um, trying to learn and learn and learn. I got my Google PhD, and I'm telling you right now, Google ain't going to teach you what to do in that meeting. They'll teach you the laws, but you can go preach the laws to the school. They don't care. They ain't going to care. They know you don't know. They know you just read it online. They're not stupid. They know who knows, and they know who doesn't, and they know who preaches the law from what they read versus knowing how to implement it. They know, right, Bill? You can hire a bricklayer cheap, but they won't use cement. Good idea. That's a good statement, Bill. Um, but yeah, I mean, so you know, it's tough. It's tough. I know. So, I work with a lot of clients, where that's the mentality, and it is a good mentality. Don't waste any time, get your IEP on point, and, you know, utilize memberships and courses and so forth, and learning and gaining that knowledge. So it's kind of like you want to do both. If your child's IEP is jacked up, if the school district has shut you off, so to speak. All right. And this is what I get from a lot of parents. And then I'm going to wrap it up, guys, is, where they're not listening to you anymore, or they're only responding minimally when they have to, or, you're blowing up and they're making comments and saying they're going to do this, that, and the other, and then they don't follow through. These are all common things, them shutting parents down who want to start advocating, but don't really know what to do. They are stating laws. Well, that's not the law. That's not what it says in the procedural safeguards. um I'm not laughing at in general, but I'm laughing because I used to my first IEP meeting, if you've heard me before, is I went in with, like, a great big suitcase, like an over a 50-pound suitcase when you're getting on a plane, full of 3-ring binders, the big thick ones. All right. And I thought I knew my shit, like I had printed off all these documents, all these laws, all this stuff on autism, idea, I got all the books, because, Pete Wright, lives here in my area. And so, he does lots of training and stuff like that. But anybody will tell you, until you learn how to do it, you can Google all you want. So Google teaches you what to put up here. If you don't know how to implement it, you're kind of shit out of luck. So that's what you're going to learn in the in the membership, is how to implement what you know, and how to implement and learn what you don't know. All right, because we don't know what we don't know. you know? So you're going to learn and you're going to implement. But I would not recommend If your IEP is jacked up, all right, and your child's not making progress and all these things, you need to get on it. All right. You need to get an advocate and get doing what you need to do to ensure that your child gets a rock solid on point IEP, period. All right. I am a big advocate in that. I don't care if you hire me or someone else, but you make sure that whoever you hire knows their shit. All right. They better know their shit, and they better know how to get and have results. All right. I'm all about results. All right. I am all about results. All about results. Everybody's got trash talk. I'm about results. All right. I got parents to tell you all kinds of stuff about me in regards to results. I get results. Is it instant gratification? Does it happen overnight? Hell no. Is it fights? Yeah, sometimes, a lot of times. But do I get it done? Mm-hmm. Sure do. I get it done. Whether it's easy or hard, I get it done. And I'm all about results, not mouth. All right. My mom always taught me actions speak louder than words. What do you got to show me that you're so good? And I'm not so good. I'm just knowledgeable in what I do. I've done it a long time. Okay. So I'm knowledgeable, but I don't know it all. That's for sure. I tell IEP teams all the time, I learn something new in every single IEP meeting. Every single IEP meeting, I learned something new. Everyone. They taught me something. I learned something in a situation that happened, whatever. But I don't think it's healthy to be a know-it-all. And I always like to learn. I love learning. The basics should lead you to real research. Huh? What, Bill? What's that mean? The basics should lead. The real research doesn't teach you. You know that. All right? Because that's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to teach. Come on, Bill. Tell them. All right. So Bill is one of my clients and was one of my clients. And now they have a good solid IEP and have gained a ton of knowledge, him and his wife, Kim. And, you know, I believe learned a lot along the way, right, Bill? And their situation was not easy at all. But did we win? Yeah, we didn't win. Bill didn't win. I didn't win. Kim didn't win. Their kiddo won. That's who won, is the kiddo. That's who we want to win for. All right. So when I say win, it's not about, I'm better than you. No, it's about the child winning, the child getting what's needed and appropriate for them individually in order to make progress in the educational setting. That is what it's all about. And that's all that matters. All right. And I'm going to teach you to do what you need to do to get that done. Now, does that mean you're not going to need an advocate or someone to handle something right now to get your IEP back on track, just like I was saying? No, 100% not. You may need to, because you don't want your child to like wait while you're learning, right? You still got to learn, but you don't want them to wait and not make progress because you're learning, right? So, you know, definitely think about that. But at the same time, yes, he did. He won big. But at the same time, you will learn a lot. And, you know, practice makes perfect. You know, like I said, I screwed up for 6.5 years. I went into my first IEP meeting with a suitcase full of research thinking I knew my shit because I had my Google PhD. I had my PhD in Google. I am a good Googler. But when I learned too, is Google is everybody's opinions put into a place that has so much power because the world believes it all. Now, does that mean that certain things aren't factual? No, of course they are. But are a lot of things not factual? Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. You got your unhappy peeps, you know? People love negativity. If they can run with negativity, they will. I mean, negativity is sometimes contagious. It's something that latches on to people. And we have to have the power enough to get rid of it and not let those people affect us. Okay. The school knows our advocate is only a call away. Yeah. Okay, guys. So hopefully that gives you a lot of information. Post below if you have any questions. If you're watching the replay, hi, welcome. Make sure you put your information below. One, if you're a new B, all right, first through third time catching me live. Two, if you're an oldie but goodie, and make sure you say hello. I put the link to the membership in the comments and I will post it again. And I hope to see you on the other side. All of those people that have bought the membership already, that I haven't even advertised that much yet, but thank you. I will see you guys very shortly, and I'm excited to get to know all of you. And I'm also excited to start teaching all of this stuff. I love it, and I'm passionate about it, and it's just my thing. I just love it. Okay. So, and it's going to be organized where there's training, Q&A, training, Q&A, and then, or training meaning an expert comes in and then Q&A and all of those things. Okay. And all the documents that you'll get and all the things that you're going to have and everything. All right. So to all be explained in the first live Zoom. Okay. So not like this, Zoom, face to face. All right. You should have the link. All right. But if you don't, all right, you're going to be sent it in your email. So check your emails, check your emails, check your emails, check your emails, check your spam, check your promotions, check whatever. All right. Message me if you don't get the link. Okay. And we'll go from there. Okay. So I am excited. And so what's going to happen too is you're going to make sure that you log in to the membership and then the link is there. You'll click it. All right. So that's it. And if you're not part of the membership and you come onto the link, it's going to automatically deny you. So just FYI. So I will talk to you guys soon, and make sure you post any questions. Message me on WhatsApp with any questions. And I'm excited to see you guys on the other side. Take care.